How did the Conservatives tackle the threat of reform? Because 5 months ago, Boris, you spoke to Patrick Christie's, my colleague.
Yes, great. Yes.
You said to Patrick, of course the Conservatives will recover, and Patrick said, you don't see a Prime Minister Farage then, and you said absolutely not. That was 5 months ago. Since then, reform have been topping every single poll going by some significant margin. Have you changed your mind on that?
Look, let's see what happens. I still think that my party, the Conservative Party, will recover. And I tell you, I've said
how can they tackle reform?
Because we're offering serious, sensible policies on home ownership, on the economy, things that people really care about.
You don't think reforms policies are serious?
I don't know. I can't think of one, to be honest. Except they don't want to reform welfare. That's the only thing I can think of. They don't want to scrap the cap on benefits for families with more than 2 children.
They do want to scrap that, yeah.
No, they do want to scrap it.
Yeah. Mass deportations.
And I think it's completely mad. You know, why should working people be paying more and more in their taxes for families that choose to have more and more kids?
Can I ask you then why they're topping the polls? Why do you think they're topping the polls? Why are the public being allured to
I don't know. You
must know.
You'd have to.
Come on, you're former Prime Minister. You must
remind you. Let me remind you of the answers I normally give. Well, when I was Prime Minister, can you remember what they were in the polls?
Reform.
Can you remember? I think last time I'm going to tax your
probably very low, but I'd argue
they were between 0 and 3%.
Farage wasn't leader.
They were hovering between 0 and 3%.
I'm not here to defend reform, but I don't think Farage was leader at the time. It was Richard Tice, maybe. Farage came a bit later.
What I'm saying is they're on 0%, okay, right. And which is where they should be and where they will be again.
Okay.
So.